Hello, my name is George Goshev, and today I'm going to be presenting my concluding project for Pre-AB biology. The research questions are: how is blood transported around the human body? How are traits such as blood type are passed from a parent to a child? And how can natural selection cause a species to evolve? So starting off with the first question. The blood is transported by a circulatory system. The circulatory system consists of a network of blood vessels, and the heart. The network provides oxygen and other resources to tissues and inside the body. It contains chromosomes and prevents unwanted wastes. The center of that system is heart. The heart is a muscle organ about the thickness of a closed fist. It sits in the chest slightly to the center left. It pushes blood throughout the body. As the heart is contracting, it takes the oxygenated blood into the lungs, where it fills with oxygen and discharges carbon dioxide, a metabolic waste product. It pumps blood and sends it around the body. The blood is transported inside the vessels that are running throughout the entire body. There are five main variations of vessels: arteries, arterioles, capillaries, and venules and veins. So in this picture you can see veins and arteries, but there are much more to it. So starting off with arteries. Arteries are the vessels that carry blood away from the heart and deliver it towards the tissues. On this picture you can see that the arteries are located throughout the whole body, even inside lungs and brains. Next off is capillaries and arterioles and venules. Capillaries deliver oxygen from the blood into the tissues. Although they're really small, they play a major part in the circulatory system. Next off is arterioles, deliver blood to capillary beds and to locations and the locations where they exchange with the body tissues. And venule is a small blood vessel that enables the oxygenated blood to return to larger blood vessels or vein from capillary beds. So on this picture you can see all three of them, the one I talked about. So the blood moves like that. The heart is up, and then it goes down the arterioles and arteries, and then it goes into arteriole that delivers blood into the capillaries that deliver blood into tissues. Then when the blood is deoxygenated, it goes to the venule, into the vein, and it goes back to the heart. And this might happen many times throughout the whole life. And last is veins. Veins are responsible for the return of deoxygenated blood to heart after blood is carried out by the arteries. Just as I said before, the veins, they return blood into the heart and make it oxygenated again. So on this picture you can see that the veins are almost everywhere, just as arteries, and on this picture you can also see arteries even, but in pale red color. And so blood circulation is one of the main processes that helps humans and many other species to live and survive. Question 2. How are traits such as blood type passed from parent to the child? Just like many other traits, hair color and height and eye color, blood type is passed from parent to their offsprings. The traits are inherited by the child in very first moments of their life. Your blood type depends on what your parents have passed you in their genes. Usually healthy person has 46 chromosomes, 23 from father and 23 from mother. Chromosomes contain genes that contain DNA. DNA is a biological code that determines your internal and external physical characteristics. For example, if both of your parents have ginger hair, the child will have a high chance of also getting a gene that stands for ginger hair color. Alleles are the ones that are in charge of it. Alleles are the varieties of genes which mix up in their chromosomes and make genes. There are two types of alleles, the dominant one and the recessive allele. If both alleles are dominant, they will be expressed. However, if both alleles are recessive, they won't, unless there is one dominant, of course. Combinations of alleles are called genotypes. Genotypes are different variations in which alleles combine. If we can call an allele uppercase D for dominant and lowercase d for recessive, then combinations could look like, you can see it here, uppercase D and uppercase D, uppercase lowercase d, and small g's. Genotype is often called the genetic makeup. It also helps to determine phenotype, the physical characteristics based on genotype. The combination takes only one D to express as well. So here you can also see the dominant allele here, because we can see big A, and the recessive allele here. So the outcomes are right here. Heterozygous A, uppercase, lowercase d, A. Yeah. So, and also in this picture we can see that if parents have, for example, mother has positive and the father has negative, then one of them is going to be expressed. And in this case, we can see that for both of their children, positive is expressed. And then they met someone with positive as well, and positive expressed again. So this trend might go on until 5, 10, 20 generations, as long as they meet someone with positive as well. Okay, so blood is often grouped according to ABO blood typing system that has 4 major blood types: type A, type B, type AB, and type O. Our blood type is inherited from our parents, just like any other traits. Each biological parent is giving their child one of 2 ABO genes. The genes A and B are dominant, and the gene O is recessive. For example, if an O gene is coupled with an A gene, then the type of blood would be A or O, as we can see here. Father's blood type, if he has O, and combining with mother's A, we can see the outcome would be A or O. Yes. And also the most common blood type in the world is O positive, and the next one is A positive as well. How can natural selection cause species to evolve? The question 3. Okay. Evolution is a very important aspect of nature. The world is constantly evolving. Although we can't observe these changes due to really slow pace of the evolution, the world has been different thousands of years ago. Some species disappeared due to different factors like human actions or other aspects. The key aspect of evolution is natural selection. I know it might sound odd, but species are evolving by dying. The natural selection triggers species to evolve and adapt. The changes are usually triggered when a new species joins an ecosystem, so all the other members have to adapt to either hunt them down or not to be hunted. In this case, with giraffes, as we can see on this picture, thousands of years ago, the giraffe's neck was likely shorter than it is now, but the circumstances they were in caused them to evolve and adapt to get the long neck and take the leaves from the trees. So let's moderate the situation that is on this picture. So the bugs of that type had a dirty green color for more than thousands of years, but suddenly a chameleon, a predator, joins the ecosystem. That sudden change, sudden of course in scale of evolution, in reality it might take tens, hundreds, or even thousands of years. So this sudden change makes other members of the ecosystem adapt. Adaptation is first priority for the food, so bugs, of the predator. As we know, chameleon eats bugs and other insects. That means that the bugs that we were talking about earlier will now become a food for the predator. That means now the dirty green bugs are going to be terrorized by the predators who also want to eat. So that's where the natural selection begins. Due to their color, it's pretty much so the bugs have to find a new way to avoid chameleons. The best way to do it is to hide. But due to their color, it's pretty much impossible. As you can see on this picture, the dirty green bug really stands out of the green leaf. So the species starts to evolve after many years of dying. And if they find a way to adapt, they will probably change their color to camouflage on the leaves. Now that their color has changed, it's way easier for them to camouflage and hide from the predators. But the ones whose color hasn't changed will be eaten. So that's what natural selection is. The fact that the bugs can now hide better will stimulate predators to adapt to it, and who knows, maybe in thousands of years they will be finally able to find their food easier. But if they don't find a way to adapt to, the species might leave the ecosystem or even die out completely. The evolution is constant. Species always find a way to adapt and get better. Some learn how to camouflage, and some, in the end, change their color. Some are trying to get food from water, and that's why they learn how to hold their breath for longer and finally get gills at some point. But some get rid of most of the body hair and learn how to walk on both legs, and who knows, maybe in thousands of years will also die out. Thank you for your attention. George Koshev, 1Q.